welcome to the Tuesday Talk Movies podcast. I'm Drew.
I'm Cam.
And today we are not doing a movie, but we are going to be talking about a slew of movies as we are going to talk about the results of the 2024 Oscars. And to help us out with that, we have our very own guest, Nick Fanelli.
Nick, what's up?
How's it going, Nick? Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Production major at EIU, just like you guys, so...
I am not production major.
Oh.
I'm a minor.
Just like production major.
Yeah.
You're fired.
Students.
But yeah, so I just took production too, so I'm junior here now, so I got a few more classes to go, but...
Gotcha. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you have seen probably a great amount of the movies that are on the Oscar list, correct?
Yes, just about all the big ones. I think there was a few for acting that I think Naiad and Rustin were the two. Yeah, which I don't think.
I've never.
Yeah, those. I don't think they were the best of movies or got much acclaim other than the acting. So I just kind of waved those off. I didn't.
And you
watch them.
You watch the Oscars every year. You try to.
Yep, I sure do.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess since you watched the whole thing, kind of before we kind of get started on the nomination and everything, what did you think of the Oscars overall? Was this probably one of the better Oscars in the last 10 years or so?
Oh, for sure.
Really?
Well, I mean, I feel like typically with before and after and during the Oscars, there's always just mass amounts of controversy, not just with the show, but just like with the nominations, with who wins. There's always massive, big controversial snubs, which I'm not saying there isn't for this year's, but typically the discourse around it, I feel like has been a lot more calm, rather than other years. And I just think the show in general, the pacing, they fixed way better. It actually ended at a decent time.
I saw they did a new thing where they have for every nominated person, they have an actor talk about them. You know what I mean?
That was really cool.
I saw something about that on TikTok. So basically they would have 5 people, old people who have won the Oscars to talk about them, which I think is cool. I was always confused when I saw the video. I was kind of like, what is their relation? How do these two actors know each other? But I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if they just get a script and be like, hey, say this about this actor, or they have to talk about him from their own experience. I don't know.
They probably do.
But it was still kind of wholesome seeing old past winners come back and just give a little homage to the winners this year.
What do you guys think of Jimmy Kimmel being the host? I feel like he is the host only because no one else wants to do it.
Just how I think about him this year, or just him doing it in general?
I guess in general, and if there's anybody you think should have done it instead.
Someone from Succession. I think Brian Cox would have been cool.
That would have been
I don't know, just because it's relevant. And their season just ended, so I think that, or any TV show, because they don't, any TV show star could have been the actor.
Gotcha.
Could have been the host.
Gotcha. I think that Jimmy Kimmel just does it because no one wants to do it because they're just gonna get crap about it every year anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Super Bowl halftime.
And for what it's worth, I think he did good. He did fine.
I don't know if he's or not. I mean, I just find him a little annoying, but
that's fair. I will say I don't know who he is, and it's probably bad of me. But John Mulaney,
the comedian.
I think comedian. He had before the Oscars started, a bunch of people are saying that he should host the Oscars because he's really funny and he knows his stuff around Hollywood, and he would be a good host for it. And he presented one of the awards, and it was by far the funniest,
really,
little speech intro into the awards. So I think
next year.
Next year. I think with all the people talking about him and how they liked his stuff, I'm sure he'll get some nod.
Such a time commitment to do that, but
Yeah.
With that being said, we can go ahead and get started. And we will. Yeah, what were we gonna say, Cam?
I was gonna tell him how he did it.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can.
So Drew and I did not watch the Oscars intentionally because we wanted it to be a surprise.
Yes,
because we didn't want to come over here and just get right into it. So we'll have some of our live reactions. I haven't been on my phone or social media.
I've seen a couple that I already know.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything. I haven't checked Twitter or Instagram in a day. So
wow,
I know I'm fiending for it. But
and granted, some of the movies on that I don't know best documentary short. I don't know, I don't know them because I don't think anybody in the world really has besides the Academy. But So some of those we'll just kind of breeze over and just be like, oh, that's cool, and then move on to the more notable ones. So with that being said, Nicholas, where do you want to start for the first category?
So all right, I just figured we'd start at some of the less hype ones.
Yes.
Okay. Also, sorry, me and Drew have these sheets we filled out last week.
Perfect.
Yes. So we will be looking at.
We know what he's talking about.
Yes.
So let's start with the best sound. So what do you guys got?
I have say the nominees while we're looking.
The Zone of Interest, The Creator, Maestro, Mission Impossible, and Oppenheimer.
I had the creator.
I had the creator as well.
And that is also what I wanted, and I'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
But winner was Zone of Interest, which is...
really?
I want to look these up. I never heard of it.
That one's the one about like the
I probably have.
Was it the Nazi camp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So basically,
Really?
Zone of Interest does a lot of interesting things with sound.
That interesting?
Well, so the whole movie, it was either the writer or the director or some producer, somebody attached to the show, said that it's like the Zone of Interest is basically two movies that you're two movies that you're going into. One that you're watching and one that you're seeing, or one that you're watching and one that you're listening to.
Okay.
So basically, the whole idea of the Zone of Interest is you're watching like this Nazi family, and they're just like going about normal life. They like plant flowers, and they live. It's the head of the Auschwitz camp, and they live right outside the walls. So they like plant flowers. They just swim, have pool parties with like everybody, and it's like totally normal life. But like the sound is like in the background, you hear like screaming, and you hear like gunshots going off, and it's supposed to be like, oh, as they're going through normal life, what's going on beyond the walls is like millions of people are dying.
Okay.
So it's like really interesting, the whole movie, hearing that,
Okay.
seeing that juxtaposition.
Okay.
But it just feels like, I don't know, it's very one note. It's like that's all there is to do with sound. And I think it was much more impressive for like something like Mission Impossible or the creator, where you're dealing with like
Action.
so many different mechanical noises that you have to create and make up.
That's why I picked the creator, because it's sci-fi, so there's all these like extravagant kind of sounds that they have to produce for that.
Star Wars.
And even
Exactly.
and so that's kind of why I did that. Plus, that was the only one that the creator was nominated for, so I was kind of like, oh, maybe it will get that. I'm not surprised, because I didn't really care about that very much, but I don't know. It's kind of like whatever.
I kind of did. I heard of everything except the Zone of Interest.
Really?
So
The Zone of Interest was like, it was a good movie, and I think what they did with the sound was very interesting, and I think that warrants a nomination for sure to recognize it.
You think it should have won though?
I don't think it should.
What did you have again?
I had either the creator or Mission
Okay.
Impossible, just because, I mean, the stuff that they're dealing with,
Yeah.
creating so many just mechanical noise in spaceship, whatever noises that just aren't natural.
Okay.
all right. Well, that's
We lost that one already. We already got one. That's not good. I'll mark that. I can say that
I don't have
I messed that up. Okay, so we can move on to the next one.
I haven't held one. This is crazy.
Yeah, is this
I've had that since middle school. Yeah, I won it in like a
middle school.
Right.
Cool. We had one of those.
Been chewing on it?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You're not supposed to see that, all right?
God damn. Okay. All right, yeah, we can move on to the next one.
All right.
Next one, best original score.
Oh, come on. We know what best original score.
What do you guys got?
Where am I at?
I have Oppenheimer for mine.
Oh, absolutely.
It has to, right? Like, I mean,
Oppenheimer for sure.
now before I say this,
You're looking at me weird.
Okay.
Oh, let Drew finish first.
I'll let you guys.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not the Academy, but like I feel like I'm more of a public opinion kind of thing, like what's popular.
Yeah.
I feel like Oppenheimer has been like by far the most popular score that's been like after the movie. You know what I
I'm
mean?
listening to that while I'm doing homework.
That's fair. I also had the Oppenheimer. I think that was a great Oppenheimer. It was a great score. But I don't think. No, I did like it.
I know, but like what?
But that means it wasn't it.
Yeah.
No, it is Oppenheimer.
What the heck?
I'm just saying. I don't think it is as a shoo-in as you guys think.
Really?
Indiana Jones also got nominated.
Yeah.
And that's John Williams. And anytime John Williams, I'm sure you know who John Williams is.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's won too much.
Anytime John Williams has a score, like,
They've won way too much.
can't count that out. I also think American Fiction had this really nice jazz score, which I really liked. Poor Things had a super funky score. I don't even know how to explain it. It was very strange. And I loved it, and I think it fit the movie very well.
Now hear me out. Now this is kind of on a side note, but like I feel like personally, I do not like the Oscars very much because I feel like every year it's like what's the most quirky movie that comes out kind of competition, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. Like what's a movie that does something that's just weird and artistic just for the sake of being weird and artistic for Academy Awards. And I know, Nick, you love that crap. Not crap. I know you like the artsy stuff and kind of stuff. You love Poor Things, I'm assuming.
I really like Poor Things.
I can imagine.
I need to watch it, man.
But you know what I'm saying, if that makes sense?
I think there is
Some of
a
that.
whole category of Oscar baity movies. I don't know if necessarily like quirky art.
Not this year so much.
Like Poor Things.
Not this year so much from the like Best Picture, but like past times, past Oscars, I feel like that's been apparent. This Oscars has been the one out of like a lot of years where I feel like it's been a lot more mainstream, if that makes sense.
I actually disagree. I think there's
Really?
because I think what constitutes Oscar baity movies are like historical biopics that have like political relevancy today. So like
true, I guess.
Oppenheimer, especially
Yeah.
Maestro, where it's about like a biopic.
Yeah,
And it's like very self-serious, and it like that's very Oscar baity.
yeah. Maybe I'm just
same with The Zone of Interest. Same with Killers of the Flower Moon.
I was gonna say that one. Yeah.
Those are the ones that I feel are very Oscar baity, where they're even coming out in the Oscar.
Maybe it's because it's
Based
Christopher
in-
Nolan. Maybe I have like more of a mainstream thing because of him.
Yeah, and I think I could be wrong.
Well,
But
Barbie.
historically, I think he usually gets nominated. He just doesn't win that much.
That sucks. He's like Leo in that regard.
Yeah,
yeah,
Also Barbie too, because that's not political, so to say, but it's more. Well,
Barbie
it
should
depending on
not.
how you look at it. Whoa,
Barbie should not have been nominated. I'm sorry.
you're gonna
It's
upset
not.
someone.
I don't care.
it
It's not.
depends on what. I think it should have absolutely been nominated for at least like hair and costuming.
Yes, not Best
Set
Picture.
design.
I don't
Best
think
design for sure.
Best Supporting Actress. No way in hell.
Oh,
Sorry, no way in hell. America Ferrera should have been nominated for that.
Yeah, I
Just because of what that one monologue that is so on the nose that it's so unsubtle. And I don't care about the context. Like I care about the message.
you're saying things.
No, I'm sorry. Like just because you had one monologue where it's just like dumping everything that the film's been like working towards, it's in such an unsubtle way.
Yeah,
I
No.
feel like that shouldn't warrant you getting it just because of that. You know what I mean? Because I don't know her. I do not like connect with her performance. I don't even remember her performance after I left the theater. Was not memorable.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think.
Don't be afraid, Nick.
Well, I'm just. I think Woman probably connected with her performance probably much more.
And I'm
But I also
clearly saying this from a man's perspective, who doesn't like go through the daily trials of a woman, but
Say
like
you don't get it, man.
But I also agree. I don't think her performance is strong. Or at
it
least
wasn't
strong
like
enough.
bad. I just didn't think that like when that monologue came on, yeah, it would like people connected to it and everything. But I feel like the film kind of just like said, "Oh, here's the message," throws it right in your face. All right, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think like Margot Robbie especially had such a better case to be nominated, and she wasn't.
Yeah, that.
What? Yeah.
For America Ferrera to be nominated.
But we'll get to that. We'll get that later. We should probably
Yes.
move on for the sake of
This is
time.
gonna be a long one,
Yeah.
so get
For sure.
Get
all right.
food.
or something.
Next up, best original song.
I unfortunately know what won for this.
I do
one,
not.
so what I think should have won.
Wait, say it first. I don't know what yet.
Okay, well, I'll give you the nominations.
Yeah.
What was I made for? Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
It Never Went Away from American Symphony.
Never
I'm
heard
not
of
sure.
That. Yeah. No.
I'm Just Ken from Barbie.
Mhm.
The Fire Inside from Flaming Hot.
Mm-hmm.
And Waha.
Yeah, the
we see it.
Killers of the Flower.
Killer's Flower.
I had I'm Just Ken, and I did that mostly from popularity, like since it is kind of the most iconic thing that come out of that movie,
Right.
in my
Mhm.
opinion. So I did that. I'll leave it.
I'll say
That.
I wanted What Was I Made For because I personally enjoy that song.
Did you? Okay.
I also really like that song.
I don't
That song's
like
great.
I don't like Billie Eilish that much. I don't like. It's not that I hate it. It's just it's not my.
No, you can say you hate her.
No, I hate her so much.
It sounds like you hate women.
You know, I could whisper into a mic too, if that's okay.
Nah, but I had What Was I Made For. It's a good song.
I did love that one, so I don't have a problem with it necessarily. I also had I'm Just Ken because I think just like culturally significant after the fact. That's just like in the discourse.
That's different. It's just I don't know. It's just different to me. Like
it. Yeah, and I also just think it's a good catchy song.
it is. Yeah.
Even if it's I don't know. I think
Who won?
What?
What Was I Made For?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
for sure.
Did you not, or did you have that?
I put I'm Just Kidding.
Oh, I thought you said you knew it won.
He did, but he just
Oh,
that was his pick.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was what was I made for? Which honestly, the Killers of the Flower Moon song, if it's the one I'm thinking of, where it's the traditional Native American,
Yeah.
I don't know what you would
I don't know. I have no.
call it. But that one I also loved.
Really?
So I wouldn't have minded if it went to that.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't really have no emotion for that. I just thought I'm Just Kidding would have won just because it is such a iconic thing. And what was I made for by Billie Eilish is also like really not icon. I don't know. It's just kind of I think it's just the quality of the song.
I think it's one of the more memorable things about the movie, especially because it came at the. No, it didn't come at the end. Ice Spice song came out then.
Of course it did.
No, but I did enjoy that. I don't remember much about Barbie, but I remember that maybe because I listened to it more afterwards.
That probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
We can move on to the next thing.
All right, guys. I think I'm just gonna knock some out that we don't have to talk about.
Yeah, because we're gonna be here for a while.
Best documentary short film, Last Repair Shop.
Okay.
Oh, I put the ABCs up.
Oh, The Barber of Little Rock.
This one is actually kind of relevant. Best live action short film, The Wonderful Life of Henry Sugar, which is Wes Anderson's first Oscar win.
Where am I? Where is that?
Where is that?
Best live action short film.
Best.
Oh, I got it right here.
What is it called?
The Wonderful Life of Henry Sugar.
I saw that. I don't know why I didn't put that.
I put red, white, and blue. I was trying to be patriotic.
Yeah, I picked it. I think I picked it because you did. But was that the one about Because I know he had like 4 different things.
Yeah, he had 4 little short, or 3 or 4 short little films released on
I
Rambo.
like it, but I mean, he had to win something because he didn't win Grand Budapest. But that year, that was a crazy year.
Yeah, he's never won anything.
Yeah,
which is crazy to me. He's all. That's another guy who's always usually nominated,
Never wins.
and just never wins.
I should have picked that one. Oh well.
I'm assuming you're gonna go to animated. Best short film.
No,
Best short.
Best documentary feature film.
I put
20 Days in Mariupol. Or Mariupol.
Oh, I knew that one. I
mean, it's topical. I mean, all of it's documentary, so they're all.
Yeah,
But this one's very
I
topical.
put 4 daughters. I don't even know what that.
I put Bobby Wine, people's president.
This one did have a significant speech, I guess, because it, calls for the not ceasefire, but calls for peace.
Oh, 20 Days in Mariupol.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. Yeah, makes sense.
Terrible at picking these.
Clearly.
Because we haven't watched them. It's like.
Nor did we do research. We kind of just picked. We went off the name.
Yeah, we went off like the name and like what
we thought it.
We were trying to be strategic.
It's hard to even find some of these like short documentaries.
Yeah,
You have to go to like a big city and watch them in like a theater that has them all like listed with them.
All right, what is next?
Best animated short film.
Animated short.
Short. I put Letter to a Pig.
I didn't even pick anything. I'll pick one right now. It's our uniform.
War is Over, inspired by the music of John and
Yeah,
Yoko.
that makes sense.
I don't know why I didn't pick. It's all in caps. It's
says
different.
War is Over.
And I picked Letter to a Pig.
I put.
I don't know what the heck I'm thinking of. Do you need to mark these, or are you just kind of going along?
I kind of lost what I won and lost. So.
Yeah, that's the last of the ones that like
throwaway ones.
I don't want to say throwaway. I don't like.
International feature film? You care about those?
I do, of course.
Okay.
I'll say the throwaway.
Best international feature film. Okay, this one's kind of lame. I don't like. It's been this the last 3 years.
Best international feature film.
Well, it's because the best international feature film, whenever one of those nominated is also nominated for best picture.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, well, obviously that one's gonna win.
That's why I thought.
And it's been like that the last like 3 years. I feel like.
So the Zone of Interest one.
Zone of Interest one. Yeah,
that's why I told you. I was like, if it's in this one and the best picture, it has to win this one.
Yeah, good point.
And with how best international feature film works, is each country gets to nominate one of their movies to be in that category.
Really?
So France, who had a giant hit this year with Anatomy of a Fall, which is also nominated for best picture, best actor, all those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They did not nominate it.
Really?
If they did nominate it, it probably would have won Best International Feature Film.
Really?
Not probably.
Anatomy of a Fall? Okay.
Yeah. They instead nominated Taste of Things. And that was kind of a big controversy. It's like, why is France nominating this movie that is getting less hype than Anatomy of a Fall?
Is Society of the Snow the one about them crashing the plane in the like mountains?
In the Andes, yes.
The Andes.
I think I don't know if you remember in high school.
Mountain in the Andes? Is that what that's based off?
We read a book at it in high school.
You read it.
You did?
Well, I didn't read it. I think I read. Jesus Christ.
Fair.
That is pretty interesting. So is it shortened or to only these 5 places can pick, or
I believe every country gets to nominate a film, and then like the 5 or 6 best that the Academy deems.
Really? Okay.
But a country can only give up like one film, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Okay. I didn't watch any of those, so I'm kind of not surprised. Yeah. All right, what do you got for us?
Also, I just think it's kind of lame when a United Kingdom wins Best International Feature, when it's like, well, I mean, it's an English movie. Yeah. I usually think that like an international feature should be like something non-English where it's kind of inaccessible, but Zone of Interest is accessible to like all English speakers. But regardless, next, Best Animated Feature Film. What do we got for this?
I have Best Animated Feature.
Okay.
I had Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
unfortunately, I think
You know which one?
I think I saw what one. I'm not sure.
How? Wow.
I
Don't tell me it was Elemental, right?
I had Spider-Man, but I think can I say it?
Yeah.
Or well,
Go for it.
I think I saw that the Boy in the Heron won.
It did.
Okay. I don't.
Why?
I didn't see it, but the cover did look really cool. I don't know why.
It was great. I mean, it's a Studio Ghibli movie. Well, not just Studio Ghibli. It's a Miyazaki. He's coming back, and this is his last movie, or I guess he's coming back out of retirement. So, I mean, if anything is to beat Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which was so loved, it would be The Boy and the Heron.
I'm thinking in terms of like the animation itself.
Yeah,
I feel like the work that goes into it and the style and everything, let alone the story.
Maybe because they didn't weren't there overworking them on Spider-Man? Like they were working without paying extra hours and stuff.
Will that matter?
I mean, you don't want to be looked at as
I mean,
rewarding
they don't want to.
yeah.
And I think they might take that into account. I don't know. I feel like I have heard a bunch of stuff about that with animation studios.
Mhm.
I don't know if it was, or I didn't hear anything about that for Spider-Man necessarily, but I wouldn't doubt it because I'm sure it happens with.
That's surprising to me. I thought that was one of my stronger ones that I picked out just because
You think so, right?
Into the Spider-Verse one, didn't it? For animated.
Not sure. I would believe so.
I thought it did.
Sorry.
I can remember. Well, okay.
I will say
I'm doing terrible so far.
I am not mad at The Boy and the Heron. It was a really good movie.
Where's that available?
The Amazon or something.
I'm not sure. I watched it in theaters whenever it came out. But
Oh, dang. Okay, well, we're doing horrible. I guess we can move on to the other ones.
okay, let's go with screenplays.
Okay. Adapted or
Adapted, yeah.
Let's go with adapted first.
Adapted. You got it.
I picked Oppenheimer.
I should have. I don't know why I didn't. I think I kept picking Oppenheimer. I'm going to change it now.
See, I have an ad in the middle of my nominations. Can I see your nominations?
Yeah, you have an ad, huh?
Yeah, when I printed it.
I picked Oppenheimer just because, I found with, all the characters that you have to adapt from the script to the screen and kind of, I don't know. I just thought that was more of a reason to do it. What'd you pick again?
I picked American Fiction for some reason. Can I change it now? Because I still don't know. I'm going to.
Don't change
What?
it. American Fiction one.
Oh, okay.
So
God.
I
didn't change it.
What I didn't realize is this wasn't even on it. I had Killers of the Flower Moon.
That's not a bad pick.
And I feel like that during the award season, that was what was winning. I am not mad with American Fiction at all.
Really?
American Fiction was one of my favorite movies of this year.
Maybe I'm an Oppenheimer stan. Maybe that's the
And
problem.
you're not wrong. It's a great, phenomenal film.
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe if you watch some of the other ones on here.
Maybe if I watch American Fiction,
American Fiction was really, really good.
maybe I should give that a go.
I need to watch it.
Which is also more of like a social commentary. So it definitely fits in. It doesn't feel Oscar baity, but it covers themes that would probably.
Okay. What was original screenplay?
Original screenplay
I had The Holdovers.
I did as well.
was Anatomy of a Fall,
Hmm.
which I'm not mad over. It was a great screenplay.
Well, I'm mad over. I'm just kidding.
It was
was it
incredibly
Maestro?
well written.
Didn't they say what did you say? Maestro? You pronounced it
Maestro.
Maestro.
I think it's Maestro.
Yeah, you
Maestro?
pronounced it
I
very
thought it
particular earlier. I was like, whoa.
I was gonna put Past Lives for a second, just because I think that was
That's
one.
what I wanted.
Yeah, well, because I heard it was really good. I haven't seen it, but I heard that that's the only one I think that's nominated. Right? Was
What?
Past Lives nominated for any other awards?
Past Lives is nominated for Best Picture.
Didn't see that. Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
Best
Okay.
Picture and also might be just Best.
So I thought it was kind of one of those things it's not nominated for the other things.
So it has to be this one.
Yeah, but then I picked The Holdovers just because I heard that just the writing of it was.
Mhm.
Well, I
Recently, actually, speaking of which, The Holdovers is in a ton of controversy because
For what?
they got accused of plagiarism. Apparently, there was a script, and The Holdovers copies it word for word,
Wow.
just bar for bar.
How old's the original script?
I'm not sure. With it, I think it was
30 days.
It was on some forum or something that people post their screenplays to, and there's literal just paragraph to paragraph.
Verbatim.
With no credit to the person who wrote it originally.
No, which
Jesus.
I don't know the truth to all that. I haven't looked into it, but I know it's a thing that is being talked about right now. Which is it came out a day before the Oscars, so it kind of
Oh boy, soured there.
Yeah, it was a little awkward.
Well, it'd be them.
Yeah, I would have loved Past Lives to win. Not that I disagree with Anatomy of a Fall, but Past Lives is my strongest movie this year, so I would have really, really loved to see that one.
Okay.
Okay, so those were
bad.
I haven't kept up. I was screen. Maybe I'll put at the end all our scores and stuff.
Yeah.
So put what you put what you said originally, or I could just take a picture.
Okay, I'll have to go back and do that. All right. Best cinematography.
Okay.
Where are we?
I put Poor Things, and I did this only because I saw some snippets of it, and it seemed, and it was kind of what I was talking about earlier, not like it was artsy in a bad way, but it just felt like visually, like style, like it had its own style rather than something like Oppenheimer, which, I mean, it's a great movie. I just don't think visually it had any flair to it. You know what I mean? No,
I'm sure you've probably seen a few of other Yorgos Lanthimos movies.
One more time, sorry.
Have you seen any other Yorgos movies?
No.
Killing of the Sacred Deer?
No, I didn't watch that one.
Cam, you watched it.
Yeah.
In FilmCon.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yeah.
The Lobster?
No. I know you tried to get me one time to watch it, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, he's incredibly he's got his own style for sure. And I think this one with like he uses super wide lenses with really cool like fisheye lens effects. And I think it was just incredibly visually compelling, especially for like this whimsical world that he's creating.
What'd you put, Cam?
I put the cinematography. I put Maestro, just because I thought it was gonna be kind of like a sophisticated thing. The color palette. I haven't seen it. I know it's on Netflix, but I know it's kind of orchestra based. And
yeah,
I thought it was gonna be kind of mature.
It had really good cinematography. Maestro was by far and away the most Oscar baity movie of all time.
That's what everyone said. That's why they didn't like it.
Yeah, and it's like, so even the cinematography, it's like, God, like this just feels like it's trying to just be nominated for a cinematography Oscar, where it's like, okay, let's swoop over this orchestral swing. I mean, it's just like, if you watch it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, where it's like, this is just...
Should I watch it? Is it like
it's not worth it. I mean, it's like a solid movie where I think on Letterboxd I give it like a 3 or 3.5, where it's like, okay, this is a good, solid biopic. That's it. There is some time and thought put into this, and I think the performances especially were really good. But at the end, it's like, it's just saying nothing. It's not really doing anything. It's like,
But the 6-minute orchestra scene,
it was good. I enjoyed that orchestra scene.
I heard he worked 12 years for that one scene, something like that.
And he didn't win any. I don't.
I'll spoil.
Well, I guess I don't know. I just like feel like Bradley Cooper. Like I feel like if he didn't win anything, he's probably so mad right now.
Probably
because he just seems like someone.
I will say he took it like a champ.
Oh boy, did he?
He did.
Okay.
He did not win anything. But I feel bad for him. But
I don't really. I feel like he's been trying to get an Oscar for the last like 5 years.
Leo has before.
Like been like pushing like movies to get Oscar, like Star is Born.
But I think that's fair. I think he just really loves, doing what he does, and I think he's got a big passion for it. So I do feel bad for him.
Okay, all right. What's next? I'll say this.
Wait, did we even go over the winner for this one?
Yeah, we just talked about it, didn't we? Wait, which one?
Cinematography. I don't think we did.
Did we not? I thought we talked
about more things in Maestro. Oppenheimer won.
Oh, really? No, actually, there was a one shot when Killian it's at the end, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cute. Black girl, like super, like baby blue. I'm not mad at it, but I definitely would have thought. I didn't think it was like that because it looked kind of dingy because it was old. Oh no, you know why? Because they had the different black and white thing. Like when they changed it from color to black and white, maybe that's why.
Yeah, but like I'm not sure. Even within the black and white, it felt like the shots themselves weren't anything to write home about.
And everything was moving, so you couldn't even get like a cool.
That's shocking.
Portrait.
Yeah.
When you have like $300 million, it's not hard to have the best cinematography.
Yeah. Like, I think it was a very beautifully shot film. Do I think
stylistically wise?
It just didn't do much.
I know that cinematographer for something. Hoyt team.
I don't know.
He was in something else, or he wasn't in something. He did something else.
There was just never a time in the movie I looked at a shot and I was like, oh my god, that's a beautiful shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's also been a while. So it's been this summer. So
he was in a bunch of stuff with Nolan. He did like Nolan's like last 4: Tenet, Interstellar, Dunkirk, Oppenheimer. So it's about time, I guess.
Maybe he was due for an Oscar. Maybe that's I know that kind of goes around in the Academy. It's kind of like if you haven't won it in a while, we'll get you eventually, kind of thing.
I still would have really liked to see Poor Things, but it is what it is.
All right.
Okay.
What is next?
Film editing.
This one
I just struggle to, like, when I'm watching a movie, I struggle to be like, oh, this is really good editing, I guess.
That's true.
So it's hard to pinpoint, like, oh, what's a favorite in this? I had Anatomy of a Fall. I think they did a lot of cool stuff with the court scenes and how they go back and forth from that, especially with how they voice over some of the court scenes. I know you guys haven't watched this.
Yeah, guilty.
Yeah, no, I thought the editing for Anatomy of a Fall is great. That's what really stuck out to me.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer, I'm trying to think of like, what editing did they like really succeed on?
Maybe when the can you hear the music part at the beginning when they're transitioning, when he's like going through school.
Oh yeah,
So the physics part.
Yeah, and it I think with that one it was just so fast paced in some moments. Like, so I feel like there was like, especially with like as many characters as there were, having to like go back and forth. But I put Poor Things anyway because I feel like, again, it was kind of the movie that I was looking at to be like the stylistic visual movie. So I feel like the film editing would have like experimented with some cool things.
Yeah. No, I actually disagree with Poor Things. I think Poor Things pacing was very strange.
Really?
And I think it lingered
way
too long in some spot. Like there was one part that needed to be cut down by like 10 minutes.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oppenheimer, I think
That one.
definitely talking about Oppenheimer won.
Okay, I put Poor Things. I'm not mad at it though. I'm an Oppenheimer stan, so I didn't want to show that I was, but I'm just
That's what I was trying to do, but
I'm not mad at it, man. It's great.
I guess
Great stuff.
I guess.
And I think like pacing wise, when I remember watching Oppenheimer and it felt like very rhythmic.
I guess
It
that's
felt
true.
like it was like
It's also pacing too.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that I'm not upset about that.
Anytime Oppenheimer wins, I will never be upset.
there you go.
Man, they sweeping.
They did. Seems like it.
Best visual effects. This one should be actually. I think this one was a very stacked category.
Best.
It is, I think. Well, first of all, I'm happy that Napoleon got nominated because it wasn't a great movie, but I'm glad that its visual effects are getting some, in the like costume design is also getting some recognition because, like, I don't know. I was talking to you earlier, and like once we get to costume design, I feel like with Barbie, if Barbie won over, which I have no clue, if Barbie won over Napoleon, I would have been upset because at least with Napoleon, there has to be like some accuracy to it, like
for the costuming.
yeah, costuming and like
I actually come to. I think Barbie also needs to be historically accurate because all the costumes are based off of
Previous doll,
like the original dolls.
I
like
get
their
that,
costumes
but it's
and
like-
whatnot, and they're like to a T like those.
I like that part about it.
But it's like when it's dolls and then it's like soldiers from a certain country at a certain point in time with certain like material. You know what I mean? It's like there's so much more that goes into like that sort of costume design than we need to find a pink shirt with pink shorts that have pink stripes on it. It has to be exactly like this doll.
I like the costume. I mean, their costume is more than just like
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I kind of know what you mean, but
I like the fact that Margot Robbie, she went along with it too outside of the movie, like for premieres and stuff, and like
like
carpet
press
events.
conferences
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
She was wearing like
the old.
that was really cool.
I'm so glad Joaquin Phoenix didn't get nominated for Best Actor because I didn't think he was great at all.
You don't like him for some reason.
I think he's just weird. I just think he's a weird dude, and I think that in Napoleon, there is no disconnect between Joaquin Phoenix and Napoleon. It's just Napoleon. It's just Joaquin Phoenix in a Napoleon hat. There's nothing different about him from any other one of his films, I feel like.
Yeah, right there. I like Napoleon, or I like Joaquin. He's not in any shot. Oh man, there's a poster.
There you go.
Maybe I'll take a picture. No camera captures it, but
But yeah, so visual effects is where
Best
we're at,
visual
right?
effects.
who'd you have?
I had Godzilla -1.
Godzilla -1.
I had Godzilla as well.
That one.
Okay.
And yeah, I think there was just a ton of hype just talking about the budget, and it was like such a tiny budget. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
And such a small team working on it, and how good it looked. And I think the same can be said about the creator, where it just looked phenomenal, and the budget was like not even on the same level as like these other big blockbusters that are coming out.
Yeah, because Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, I watched that, and I didn't watch Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3, but Mission Impossible, I just felt like
Oh, I thought it did great.
it did great. I don't know. It's hard for me to like compare when I haven't seen some of them, and then like I'm kind of just like favoring one over the other. But there were many times where I felt like there was like obvious green screen in Mission Impossible.
Really?
I say that, but when you have movies that require like 1,000 visual effect shots, it's kind of hard to be upset when you notice a little bit. You know what I mean?
I didn't notice anything in Mission Impossible. I think all four
Really?
of the top ones, Godzilla, Creator, Guardians of the Galaxy, Mission Impossible, I think all looked phenomenal, and I would not be mad.
Did you watch
if
Napoleon?
either of them went. I did. I think Napoleon did not look that good. I actually liked the movie for its own reason, or for my own reasons, but I don't think the movie looked that good. Like some of the... I don't know if it's the color grading or if it's just like obvious green screen, but like especially some of the stuff in Egypt and like the battle scenes.
Okay. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Even like just watching the trailer, I don't know if you watched it. Like I can like, oh man,
At the Giza, the pyramids of Giza.
yeah, like the cannon fire at the Giza. It's like, oh my god, like this is
really. I did.
just not feel.
I don't think I noticed it too much. Whenever I think of that movie, the moment I think of most is kind of like that the ice on the ice scene.
That would look good.
Yeah.
I don't have any complaints, but
Like, I thought
that was probably their best scene.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I don't know. I watched that a long time ago, so my brain's not really. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting because the movie it's a movie that's getting nominated for costume design, visual effects, but not Best Picture. So I was like, oh, so it's not a great movie, but at least there's something else to be taken from it. So
Right.
I don't know. I did pick Godzilla -1 just because of like what you said, the small team and everything. So I thought that was cool. What'd you think, Cam? About the best visual effects pick?
I haven't seen a lot of these. I was with you when we picked these,
Yeah.
and I've only seen the creator and Napoleon. I knew Napoleon wasn't going to win in that category.
Yeah.
And the creator, I liked it, but I knew that these other movies, Godzilla, Guardians, and Mission Impossible, had a lot more to go into them regarding that, regarding like having special effects and whatever go into it. But I'd still like the creator, but I just didn't pick them because I haven't seen the other three. So I'm like, one of these has to win. So
yeah,
Godzilla.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought the creator just looked so beautiful.
Man,
I wish that one.
I don't think it hasn't won anything yet.
No, I think that was the only thing it was nominated for. I could be wrong. Okay, next, Best Supporting Actress. This is by far and away the biggest shoe-in. I think I saw a stat. I don't remember exactly the statistic, but it was like this one was the most winningest person of almost all time in the award season.
Really?
Winning is in regard to everyone.
You can't be American.
So like
right?
previous, so like before the Oscars, there's like a million different award shows, you know, and then typically whoever wins the most amount of those award shows is like the front runner for the Oscars.
Okay.
The person who won Best Supporting Actress won like 96% of the award. It was like a historic thing.
And it was America Ferrera.
No, it was Emily Blunt.
No.
Oh,
What?
It was Divine.
Okay, that's
so
what
I picked her.
Yeah, I don't know that. Divine. I've never heard of her. Didn't watch the holdovers, but I just had a feeling.
She deserved it. And yeah, like she was all the talk. Like
I am shocked that Jodie Foster didn't win it because I don't know. I feel
nobody
like,
cares about Naiad. I'm going to be so
I know, but I felt like it was more of
Who
a
gives-
legacy thing. Because
she's been so.
she's won it before, but I feel like,
She's
it's
had her
Jodie Foster. Yeah, for real. And Emily Blunt,
She did nothing in Oppenheimer for me.
she
No.
She did like fine, but she had like 4 scenes. The ending scene where she's like giving the guy the business. It's like that's fine, but that was more in the editing, honestly, to me, because it was so like cutting him off, But
I'm going to be honest, guys. I know I'm sitting across from some Oppenheimer stands. I don't think any of the acting did much
justice for it.
I like it was everything was just like okay. Those were some
Acting-wise?
performances acting wise, yeah.
I'll agree with you. I don't think Cillian Murphy was that great.
I don't think like
Really?
I think he was
Well-
great for what he did. I just don't think that role required so much range that it would like warrant a Oscar.
I didn't get I didn't get that from a lot of.
Guess I think because like it's more like internal throughout. You know what I mean? Like most of the stuff, like his emotions are like internal, so you can like read it on his face. Right? So you mean like outwardly emotional kind of range that has, like a Leonardo DiCaprio movie, as opposed to that.
I guess kind of. I mean, like, I think there is certain roles that require greater acting ability.
Okay.
So I think, like, for the role of Oppenheimer, I think Cillian played it great. Like, I just don't know if that role of Oppenheimer required
That much.
I think it did, because I think it's a very complex role. I just think to maybe some others on or nominated, I don't know if I would have picked him to win.
Interesting. And well, I'm just glad America Ferrera didn't win, just because.
She did not have a chance. I mean, nobody had a chance. Divine was gonna win.
What?
I'm gonna be honest. It was only Divine.
It's like really Barbie. Like,
You are so against Barbie, man.
no, it's just like it was a fine film.
Well, hey.
the message is fine. It's a good message, but like one of the best performances of the year from an actress. Well, seriously. First of all, the Iron Claw, which I think should have been nominated tenfold, should have been nominated for Best Picture, Best Actor with Zac Efron.
Once we get done, we can talk about snubs, and then
We will talk about stuff.
I think that's a bit.
We'll save that for them. But yeah, I'm glad she didn't win. God bless her heart. We can move on.
All right.
Okay. You know what? I was going to go back to doing the acting stuff, but I completely forgot that we got 3 smaller ones that we're just going to brief over.
Okay. So
I'm going to say all 3 of these are a Poor Things sweep, and I couldn't agree more.
really,
Costume and hairstyling, that beats out Poor Things.
okay.
And maybe Barbie. There's an ad in my way. Is it Barbie nominated
Which one?
for hairstyling?
Hair.
I put Poor Things.
Poor Things should have won.
Poor Thing. Oh, who won?
Wait, is that makeup and hairstyling?
Makeup and
okay,
hairstyling.
no. Then that one had some competition. I'm okay with Poor Things winning. But best production design and best costume design. I am very happy that Poor Things also won.
Wait, give me a second. Best production.
Best production design. For
Okay, I picked Napoleon for that.
I did too.
And then you said what? What was the other one?
Best costume was Poor Things.
Best costume. I put Napoleon too.
I did too.
And
That's because
That's what I was talking about earlier with the accuracy that has to be done.
But see, this is why all 4 of these, Oppenheimer, Napoleon, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Barbie, are, to me, kind of lame because it's just like, they're just historically accurate. So you're going to look at photos from back in the day. What were they wearing? And we're going to recreate that. And that's not as interesting to me
True.
as Poor Things created these like absurdly creative and just outrageous, whimsical costumes that they're just cool. I wish we could show some pictures, but there's so many of them that are just super interesting.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. So I'm really happy to that one, and I think that was definitely the favorite to win. Yeah. Next, best supporting actor. I'll tell you who I want.
I already know who
I
won.
think I know who won. RDJ?
It was
Yeah.
you aren't happy about that.
I just think this is such a weak category.
You think so?
Except for one. I thought Robert Downey Jr. was such a meh character in Oppenheimer. I feel like he was only on the screen for like 20 minutes.
I don't like him personally, so I wish he wouldn't have won. I wanted De Niro to win.
And I just feel like everybody in Hollywood just adores the guy. I don't know why. I don't know either.
I could agree with you that I think that his character, like, I like Robert Downey Jr. just because he's kind of just like a smart aleck, so I can respect the guy or whatever. But now with hindsight, after watching Oppenheimer and the Barbenheimer like thing just kind of died down, his character, I don't feel like his character had that much.
I just
The jealous.
yeah.
And that's I feel like just like he's just acting like himself.
Yes, and it's not that good. I have a personal vendetta against Robert Downey Jr.
Why do you guys not like him personally?
Because you can go first.
I don't necessarily dislike him personally. I just hate how like it feels like Hollywood just like praises the ground he walks on. So like now it's like he's finally out of superhero movies, and now we need to get nominated for like every single thing that he is. That he's in.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you his next role is probably going to get nominated no matter how good he is in it. It's like, this feels like it was like a 20-minute long. He was not in that entire movie, I feel like, until like maybe the very end where he's in like a court scene. Yeah. I was like, okay, he's just talking to court. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hate to compare it, and I mean this in the most, I don't know what the word is, but maybe it has that same effect as Heath Ledger as Joker. I know they are nowhere in the same category because Heath Ledger is his levels above him in for each of their respective roles. But maybe because you see a face in a different, you see a familiar face in a unique role. Because I forget what Heath Ledger was in prior, but I know he was in what's the Love movie? He was in
10 Things I Hate About You.
Things I Hate About You, but then you see him go and do this.
Going from here to here.
Yeah, maybe it's that regard. Maybe in that.
Yeah.
Plus, maybe they accept him because he had that whole thing with the drugs and going to jail, and then he turned his whole life around.
And I think his
Like a legacy thing.
Yeah, I think his family is also historically in Hollywood, like many of these guys are.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think like people might have liked his family, and they were big into Hollywood.
There's a lot
now that his kid is like big into Hollywood.
Which that whole Heath Ledger thing, I have a take on that I'm not going to say in this episode. I'll say that later. I'll say it later. I don't know who the nominees were for that year. I don't say Heath.
I just watched that too the other day. The accepting Heath Ledger won that.
Oh yeah,
I just watched it.
Yeah, we can move on.
Okay,
I will not mention that today.
yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah. All right. Oh, sorry. I will say, what did you guys think of Ryan Gosling being nominated for that?
That's supporting actor.
That is who I wanted to win.
Really?
Yep, by far.
Really?
I think. Name me one other person one other actor in the entire world that could have played that role other than Ryan Gosling and made it as compelling and like resonated with as many people.
Okay,
that people would have been talked about.
Let's hold on for a second. He acted like Ryan Gosling.
I disagree.
You disagree that he didn't just act like almost purely like himself, like a stupid. So the new movie that's coming out where he plays a stuntman,
I will.
he acts the exact same in that movie. The Nice Guys, he acts maybe a little more realistic, but it's Ryan Gosling. He acts. I feel like he's now in a part in his career where he is just now acting like himself, this goofy guy. Whereas in like the 2000s, like after The Notebook and kind of that in between of Blue Valentine, he was actually like playing like compelling, emotional, complex roles.
I think Ryan Gosling for his entire career is known as the "that's just me" guy, or "I'm so him" guy.
You're right. Like Drive.
Hear me out. Drive. That's like the one that dudes will cry to. It's like, that's me, bro. I'm crying in my car. Blade Runner, same kind of role.
Okay.
The stoic, very non-quiet, lonely, like mysterious, like action guy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's who Ryan Gosling is, in my opinion.
Okay.
Um,
So this is an opposite to that.
I think this is Ryan Gosling is still playing a bit of himself, just like you said. Like, this is totally a Ryan Gosling role,
Yes.
even if it's not like that stoic thing. But he is totally going out of his normal acting zone, in my opinion, from what he usually does. And I think, by far and away, nobody else could have played such a fun character as him.
I've been thinking since you guys started that, I cannot think of anyone else. I want to say Barry Keoghan, but no.
You can't.
I couldn't think of anyone else.
Not a
Give me a day. Give me a day to think.
I can think of 20 other people that could play Robert Downey Jr. as whoever
I'm talking about like
played in.
I'm talking about like emotional like range that was like displayed, because like what emotional range they have besides like acting like a frat guy and then a simp, like what exactly like what's his like range in it?
I think I don't necessarily.
I'm not knocking the guy. I'm just saying like I don't know. I feel like a comedian. I get what you mean when you're saying like who else could have played that role that I can envision. But I feel like he's just playing kind of just a standard comedic role. You know what I mean?
I think the character, I don't want to say complex, but it was a little bit more intense than just a standard comedian role. And I think probably Ken, just the character Ken in Ryan Gosling, has probably been the most talked about actor and character post 2023 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there any other character that was talked about more in all of these? Maybe like Cillian Murphy as Oppenheimer, but I feel like Ken, like he just stole the public discourse, and I think that's because of how compelling Ryan Gosling played the character.
I disagree. I think that public popularity, actual emotional acting range being presented in the film, I feel like that's like meshing really hard right now, because it's like we were talking about earlier about how it's like, oh, such a popularity thing, and that's why I picked some of these, is because like the most iconic thing from the year, but people are only voting for it for that reason, not for like, is this a character that's actually like riveting, and like, and I can respect that they nominated it because it's not just a standard dramatic role. It's easier to show off your dramatic range when you're in a movie that warrants that. Yeah. But even with that, I didn't find any moment where like I was like, oh, Ryan Gosling's doing a really good job acting in this. I thought Margot Robbie did a far better job in terms of like express, because her role calls for it, and so he does good with what he's given. I just don't think there's not enough there to warrant that. I don't know. That's just kind of my opinion. What do you think, Cam, of all this?
Between if Ryan Gosling should have won.
Well, do you think he should have been nominated in general?
Yeah. Barbie's one. Everything Barbie is nominated for, I think.
You agree with?
Yes, because it was one of the biggest films last year, and because of the whole thing with the Barbenheimer throughout the entire summer and months leading up to it. Ryan Gosling, like you said, I couldn't think of anyone else to play him. And although his role isn't that, outstanding, he did do a good job of conveying that role, even though he's like a 40-year-old man and playing a doll role. Not saying Margot Robbie did like a better job because she's up there in age. Well, I'm not in ages, but
it's like Heath Ledger won Best Supporting Actor in 2009, and he won it, or he was nominated for this one. He didn't win it, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know. It's just so hard for me to like picture like his performance being nominated for an Oscar, and then someone like Heath Ledger be like winning the Oscar. Just is so weird for me to like.
You said Heath Ledger didn't win?
He did win.
Okay, they say he did not.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If last thing we'll say about this, because we do have to talk about this more. If anybody else played Ken in Barbie, other than Ryan Gosling, do you think
it should have been nominated?
No, do you think that it would have been talked about, that role would have been talked about as much as it did? Any other character that you ever...
I mean, it depends. Like, honestly, I can't think of anyone right now just because it is so iconic at this point. It's hard to say. It depends on the actor. It really depends. I think Ryan Gosling has definitely, like you said, he kind of is that, like, you watch a movie and every guy will go to watch the movie kind of thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I understand that. I think that given another actor being put into that role, I think that it would have been iconic. But what I'm saying is that the popularity shouldn't overshadow the, like, complexity of the character, if that makes sense. And I personally just don't think that this character was as complex enough to win or be nominated for a supporting, like, an Academy Award.
Right.
Best of the year.
I don't think if he was just playing like a standard comedy kind of role that it would have been as compelling to as many people and would have garnered so much traction. I think he just took such a fun and unique approach to it. I don't know.
As opposed to what?
I feel like you could have played that so much. You could have played it more into like how Margot Robbie played her character, which I feel like did have more range. But I don't know. I just think Ken was just such a fun character.
Okay. We'll move on. We got to move on.
Okay.
We'll talk after.
I do think that it was rightful for him to be nominated, though. Best actor.
I know.
Oh, come on, man.
I mean,
Cillian Murphy, Bradley Cooper.
Stop there, man.
Coleman Domingo.
Yeah, we know.
We know who won.
Yeah. I had Paul Giamatti as like a close second for me because I heard that his performance was really good.
It was.
And so I was tempted there.
We'll talk about snubs and I think somebody who didn't get it's some political movie. Or not like it's like a historical person who like fought for some social right. I don't know my shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so you were talking about earlier how you don't think Cillian Murphy.
No, I mean, I think he did a good job for the role. I think Paul Giamatti was.
You're saying he shouldn't have won?
I don't think Cillian Murphy should have won. No,
I don't think you should have won.
Fair. No, I love Paul Giamatti, and I think somebody else who didn't even get nominated should have won. But we'll talk about that after we talk about snubs.
Yeah, we'll talk about snubs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to talk about. Cillian Murphy. That's most of us. So best director.
We know who won that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, what do you mean, Dewey? Don't tell me.
I know.
That's my guy.
Oh,
Jonathan Glazer, The Zone of Interest.
Shut up. You're so stupid. No,
you're lying. You're actually lying.
Here's Christopher Nolan.
Was it like it should?
No, it's not like it should be. What direction was in that movie that was just so special?
What are you talking
about? Oh, I'm sorry. It was a great picture. It's a great spectacle. It's a great message.
I will say that I think that him kind of getting his time was warranted by, you know what I mean? Like, he's been nominated for multiple movies.
Yeah,
I think this was one of those things where it's like, like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant. Do I think that was his most Oscar-worthy performance? No. But I think it's one of those things where, like, he hasn't won in a while. He has to win it for this. You know what I mean?
Sure.
A lot went into it. You're lucky we're at 53 minutes because I would debate this like you two just had your debate. But I will say the man taught himself quantum physics. So that's it. That's all I will say.
You know what? Good for him.
And he also wrote it. So it's like...
I think he writes like everything.
I thought it was like his brother and another person together. That was like more history. Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I think juggling as a director, juggling as many characters in the thing, and not to say that it's like a as many people as you can get to look better kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like with how many characters that he needed to juggle, granted, a good amount of those aren't really complex characters. Mm-hmm. They're just throwaway scientists.
That's the thing about all Christopher Nolan movies is usually their characters are not complex.
They're just celebrities.
Well, they're just like a means to move the plot forward. This one was a little different, but usually, I mean, like look at Tenet, for example, where that's like
that movie.
The epitome of his style, where it's like the character is literally named like protagonist and the antagonist is named antagonist, and they have like no personality, and it's just meant to be like a James Bond good guy versus bad guy. And I think that's like that's what Christopher Nolan exceeds in, is he doesn't do complex character, which he did in this one.
He doesn't do complex characters. Look at Interstellar.
Matthew
McConaughey.
Oh, yeah, that was good. Oh, Matthew McConaughey.
We're not gonna.
He did good. Okay, I'll give it to him.
Here we go.
Yeah. So,
oh boy, look at Memento.
I mean, That was just I'm gonna be honest. I'm sorry. Memento is just a gimmick movie.
Oh my!
It's just a gimmick. It's not about.
All right,
I'm not gonna disagree because I think Pulp Fiction is a little bit of the same in terms of
Tarantino isn't like that.
I think it's a whole different thing. Memento is like a whole different beast. They're playing a movie in reverse.
I know that.
But
Pulp Fiction I find to be more gimmicky because it's like the plot isn't as interesting in narrative form, so let's match it, everything. And there's like a novelty to that. That's, once again, a whole other thing to talk about, but similar in my eyes.
Were we on the last one?
No, we got two more because I forgot Best Actress. This is the most controversial one of the night, by far.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have kept up with the race or the goings abouts of things. This is by far and away the most controversial.
I have.
But you got it.
I have Lily Gladstone.
I have Lily Gladstone as well.
I had Emma Stone, and Emma Stone did win. And everybody in the world was rooting for Lily Gladstone.
Yeah, because she. I think they were going to pick someone else, but then they said, no, we want someone of actual heritage.
Yeah, I thought it was a clear, diverse choice on their part, along with her performance that I've heard was really, really good.
It was.
No.
Wait.
No, I haven't seen it. No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, I think
I was going to, but I don't have 3.5 hours to spare some days. So.
Martin Scorsese, man. I got 3 hours every
Make it an hour and a half. Please.
Pause. Emma Stone. I like Emma Stone as a person, so I'm not too mad at it.
Is she that good in Poor Things?
Yeah. So the controversy, yeah, she is. The controversy, I mean, it would have been the first Native American woman winning an Oscar for a role that's about primarily, Native American history and whatnot. And they took that away from her to give it to Emma Stone, which I unfortunately agree with. I don't know if you guys know anything about this movie.
Not
much.
No. I just know it's A24, right?
No.
Or am I lying? No, it's Searchlight. Yeah.
I mean, she's just by herself. It's first off, it's a Yorgos Lanthimos written movie, so it's like a super quirky, complex character in its own right. Plus, you're going off this narration of she is basically a baby in the form of a human or adult body, and she rapidly ages. So like her maturity by the beginning of the movie is like can't talk and is a baby. By the end of the movie, she's a grown adult who has experienced life and she's sophisticated and knows the going abouts of life and whatnot.
To me, it sounds like Benjamin Button, but what do I know? I haven't seen it.
It's probably like Benjamin Button, but I don't know Benjamin Button. Is that just like
where he ages and
just backwards?
Oh, okay, that's probably so. But like every 2 or 3 scenes, she has to just change a little bit where her maturity is just a little bit, a little bit more mature, while also playing just this incredibly whimsical, quirky character in its own right.
Okay.
Selling me.
And it's like by the end, she's like this complete woman who's she's discovering the world for the first time. So it's like she's dealing with seeing tragedy and seeing poverty and seeing all this stuff. And it's like for the very first time, she's taking it all in. It's this huge thing. And by the end, she's this whole sophisticated woman. And it's like you totally believe that this is the same person. Like you just watched her basically grow up throughout this entire movie. And she totally sells every little bit of it. This is like, I think, one of the best performances of like the last decade, if not more. I loved this performance.
Oh my God, well, clearly,
yeah.
And it's a little upsetting that it's being overshadowed with controversy because everybody wanted Lily Gladstone, which is fair because she also did great. But Emma Stone took it.
Sure would have seen the movie to.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here to tell us.
Yeah.
Like we're missing out on.
Hey, it's not too late.
I'm gonna watch Poor Things this week.
I would like to.
It just went on Hulu.
I would like to watch Poor Things in American Fiction.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if you'll like Poor Things, but
I
at least pay attention to the performance because I think like it's noteworthy for sure.
I need to watch Poor Things, American Fiction, and Past Lives. Those are kind of the 3 I kind of need to watch.
Say it again.
Past Lives, American Fiction,
okay.
and yeah. Okay.
All right. Last one before we get to
Best Picture.
The snubs. Yeah, Best Picture.
Oh, okay.
Let me read off the nominations. Zone of Interest.
Yeah.
Poor Things. Past Lives. Maestro. Killers of the Flower Moon. The Holdovers. Barbie. Anatomy of a Fall. American Fiction. And Oppenheimer.
Has to be Oppenheimer, right?
This is best picture.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Oppie.
Has to be Oppenheimer.
He was Oppenheimer.
Absolutely. Come on, man.
I did think that there was a chance that it was going to be like
Past Lives?
no, not.
Oh, come on.
I thought for a second it was going to be The Holdovers for some reason. I don't know. I just felt like that movie kind of like it was a surprise would be that one.
Yeah.
Or The Zone of Interest, honestly.
So in the Oscar race, yeah, Oppenheimer is definitely the favorite. But towards the end of awards season, Zone of Interest really started picking up.
That's what I
So
heard.
yeah, a lot of people were thinking that it might have been a really big upset to see Zone of Interest, which I don't know if you're ever going to watch Zone of Interest, but it's like it's not like an Oscar baity movie
Zone of
to be.
Interest.
Yeah, no, it's its own thing. It's kind of experimental, and to see that win a Best Picture would have been very, very interesting. But yeah, it was Oppenheimer. I don't think we have much to say. We could.
I mean, we can go into the snub.
I was very, very upset that it wasn't Past Lives.
We know
It was great.
God.
No, man, you have a lot to say about Emma. Wait, no,
Emma Stone. Or
never mind. That was Poor Things. Never mind.
I mean, Poor Things was great, but Past Lives was a better movie. But I think Emma Stone's performance was just
gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. Snubs. Do you guys have any?
I have The Iron Claw. That is like the one movie because I saw it over Christmas break, and I thought it was really well paced. I thought it was a really good like story that was told. I think it was a story that needed to be told. I thought there's some pacing issues, I think, in the middle. Did you watch Iron Claw? I think there's some pacing issues, especially with like the brothers dying. I feel like they kind of sped run some of the brothers' deaths a little bit.
And they cut one out.
They cut one out, yeah. But I think Zac Efron's performance I think it's good. I think it's good enough to be nominated.
For sure. I think that has a strong contender that it could have won.
And Best Supporting Actor, I don't really think there was anyone that was good enough to be Best Supporting. Jeremy Allen White.
No, for Iron Claw, maybe not. No.
I think Best Picture, I think yes.
Yeah, probably.
Best Actor, yes.
I think the Iron Claw, that amazed me that it wasn't nominated for anything. I think that is such an Oscar baity movie too. And the fact that it didn't get nominated for anything. It's such like historical biopic with like social commentary that relates today to be talking about like male like masculinity and mental health and whatnot.
But there wasn't like anything that I was feeling like I was being like talked down to in that way. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like one of those Oscar bait movies where it's like you said, Maestro. That's like you can be like, oh, it's trying to impress me. It's trying to, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I feel like it's visual style. I just think and it's A24. It's A24. So it kind of has that like filmy kind of like 70s, 80s look to it.
Yeah.
And I think that the way it just looks is really like it helps with the movie and everything. And it's also just kind of it's just a sad story. You know, I think that it was a story that like really translated well to the screen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in terms of like casting accuracy, I mean,
I did good.
I don't really care. I like
I thought everybody casted great for what it's
like I don't really I know you haven't seen it. I know you wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
But I just think at least Zac Efron should be nominated for Best Actor. That's what I think got snubbed the most.
I agree.
What did you guys have any more snubs?
I don't think I had any. I can't remember.
I don't have anything that came to mind that came out. Other than that,
I got a few.
What's yours?
First Life, Past Lives for more things. Like the fact that Past Lives didn't get nominated, Celine Song didn't get nominated for Best Director was a tragedy, especially after she directed the hell out of that movie. And like to see her nominated for Best Picture, but not Best Director, when I feel like it's such a well-directed movie. I don't know.
Martin Scorsese, bro. He had his spot. Pre-listed.
Another big controversy about the Oscars is Martin Scorsese. Killer Slow Moon got nominated 10 times. Came out with 0.
Yeah.
Which is just a big thing, and it's just kind of Martin Scorsese historically for all of his movies always gets nominated, never wins a thing. And this is just another year of that.
He's never won Oscar.
He won for The Departed for Best Picture.
Oh yeah, I think
But for almost all of his movies, you can see the stuff that he's nominated. Sorry,
you can see him doing it. I just thought it was funny.
That's my bad.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
You can see the stuff that he's nominated for, and then he just never wins. So somebody at the Academy is just not loving.
It's fine though because he won in the culture, man. Everyone loves his movies. So.
True.
Yeah.
Too bad they're freaking
shows right here.
Too bad they're freaking 4 hours long.
They're worth it.
Tell the man to make
nothing wrong with that, Drew. Come on.
I just don't have time anymore to like watch 3.5-hour movies.
Yeah.
What did you have other snubs?
I did. Did you guys watch Dream Scenario?
I did not.
I was going to, and then I couldn't watch it at the theater.
Do you know what it's about? Anything
Yeah,
about
it. It's Nicolas Cage. Like, and people keep seeing him in their dreams. And
Oh, is this about like when Nicolas Cage was playing every other Nicolas Cage role?
no, that was the other one
Oh,
where he was just playing himself.
okay, yeah. I thought he was like going in on the joke, like Nicolas Cage will pick up
No, this
role.
See, yeah, I don't like Nicolas Cage usually for the roles he picks and just like the discourse around him. He's like, oh, he's such a quirky, funny little guy. I don't know. I just don't like him.
He did
This
Pig.
movie, what'd you say?
He did Pig, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one though. This one was his, like, I think, one of his best performances ever.
That's not saying much, though.
Why? Because he has so many good ones, or
No, he has. What's another good Nicolas Cage performance?
he's an Oscar winner. What do you mean?
For
He's
what?
deserving an Oscar
For what movie?
Is it Leaving Las Vegas
Oh Christ!
or like Raising Arizona or something like that?
From 35 years ago.
If you don't think Nicolas Cage can act, come on. You don't think he can?
Have you seen any of the movies that come out in the last 20 years?
I don't think he's been in any decent movies recently, but this one especially was
Since he's
decent.
been alive.
I'm not a big fan of his, so I'd have to go and look at his filmography.
Not great.
But in particular, this movie was phenomenal. I also think the fact that I don't know. I guess it's not an Oscar movie type of movie. I think the Dream Scenario should have been nominated for just about everything that it can be.
Really?
I thought it was amazing. That's probably my favorite movie. That, Past Lives, and The Sweet East, but I don't think The Sweet East.
Is that available on anything?
The Sweet East?
No Dream Scenario.
Are you looking it up, Kim? Because I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking up.
Sorry. The Dream.
The Dream Scenario. I don't know if that's. I'm sure it's just streaming right now.
I hope so.
Is it stream? What's the question? I'm sorry. I was.
Where
is it streaming or what's it on?
Let me see. It is not streaming. You have to pay for it.
I'm sure it'll come to streaming soon. That is.
Yeah, it looks like it. I guess Amazon. I don't know why I said that, but I just looks like a movie. Yeah,
could be. Who knows? Same director as Sick of Myself, which I don't think you guys liked. Christopher Borgli.
Really? That was the
for
same
Yep.
class.
Yeah, we watched it in Branch of the Four. I thought it was all right. I love that movie.
Oh, I loved it so
It
much.
was all right.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you didn't really like that one, you might not like this one as much. But
Really?
if you would watch it for Nicolas Cage's performance, I think you guys would love it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, The Sweet East, I would have also liked to have been nominated for some stuff, but that one's a little too smaller for it to even be recognized by the Academy.
So yeah, I can't really think of any snubs that other than the Iron Claw, just because it came out recently and I'd watched it in December. So I know when I leave the episode, I'm going to think of like 10 other ideas that I had.
I should have came prepared thinking of snubs, so I just wasn't.
We should have came prepared watching movies. That's what we should have done.
I wish, now that you mentioned it, I wish Napoleon would have won. No, I wish, who won 10 things? Scorsese. Yeah, I wish Napoleon would have won at least one, because he said it was nominated for 10, so.
No, Killers of Fire.
Oh, yeah. Killers of Fire movie. I did not think of Napoleon. Oh, I'm thinking of Joker, because
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Too many movies.
Yeah, I wish Killers would have won at least one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Man,
that was exhausting to talk about that many movies and
keep up with it. Thanks for letting
Thanks
us
for
know,
coming on.
man. This was
telling us what's up because we clearly didn't have time to watch all the movies.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much, Nick. So, yes, that was an extremely long episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the extent of that as much as we did. An hour and 10 minutes. Good Lord.
pain editing this.
It will be.
Guys.
But yeah, with that being said, we will get the heck out of here. So thank you, Nick, so much for coming and talking with the movies and everything and making us feel like we need to take a few more hours on the couch and watch some of them. So we will
watch a lot of movies too, man. You can show me up.
exactly. But we will be back next week with one movie. New, not a new movie, but might be Dune 2, maybe.
We have spring breaks. I don't know if I'll watch two.
That's true. We do have spring break. So whenever we find ourselves back here,
we might, if we record this week sometime. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But we will come back with a new movie, and we will see you next week. Have a great day.
Bye.
See you guys.